It's game time. The Kid Gowie. Ravens Nation. All we know is purple and black. And if you're not a Ravens fan, Welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, where opponents don't make it out alive unless we bury them. Every team be afraid of them, especially all the quarterbacks, cause our defensive linemen won't hesitate to leave you sacked. Let's take a minute, go back to Super Bowl 35. Domination was an understatement up against the Giants. Numerous touchdowns, they put up numbers, and it didn't take a nutritionist to see they hunger. Only stat Kerry Collins could get was interceptions. He must have thought throwing to the D counted as receptions. The pass was legendary, but don't sleep on the present. Our secondary make quarterbacks avoid their direction. You tryna run the ball, you better hope your blockers work. You can juke, you can spin, but your destination's the turf. This is a man's game, being soft will get you hurt. Watch the defense force a fumble and the fans go berserk. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go! They always win when the championship's on the line. So if you hoping that they failed, then you really wasting your time. Go and ask the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they remember when they made a comeback, but weren't declared the winner. 2 rings down, but you know they won't stop now. If the opposing D's caught slipping, you know exactly how that goes. That's another deep connection for 6 points in the end zone. The stadium goes wacko as Ravens put in work. Pittsburgh Steelers, that still curtain is looking more like a skirt. So tell me who they say is gonna beat them Bengals. Who used to be the Browns until they relocated? Ravens, they are one of the greatest. There's simply no denying it. To beat them, bringing your A game's a requirement. With the youth of the team, I bet they still be dominant, even after the greatest linebacker's retirement. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go!
Welcome to another edition of the SCG Sports. Thank you for coming live. I know I usually do live Mondays, and you know what? I was missing a live stream. I was like, man, it's been a minute since doing a live stream. So I was gonna do this video, record it, and I was like, you know what? Let's bring the flock in. Let me bring myself down a little bit. Let's bring the flock in. Shout out to all of you. Let me do some really quick roll call here. Corey, Seek, Asmodeus, Mary, shout out to all of you. Okay, ASC North Talk. I know usually are Thursdays and Tuesdays, but this is why you have to hit that bell like in my channel so you know when we go live. ASC North Talk will be tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow we're going to have the ASC North Talk. Okay, let's talk really quick because a lot of you have been asking me about this Odell Beckham situation in Cleveland. Look, if I was a Cleveland Browns fan, which I'm not, I'll be like, yo, what the F? You did not trade this guy. I would have traded for a bag of balls because he didn't want to be here right now. So he's a distraction for a team that has aspirations. I know they're 4-5, 4-5, or 4-4, 4-4. I know they're 4-4, but still a team that can just turn it around, make the playoffs, and as you've seen in the past, making the playoffs. If you're coming hot, that's all you need. And you're gonna have that distraction. Now, this can maybe motivate Baker. Who knows? Baker has been consistent as F. He has been average as best. Um, so saying all that, look, as a Ravens fan, keep Odell. Keep Odell. I'm all about the drama. Give me more drama there, Cleveland. Just give me more drama. I'm all about the drama. Give me more drama, Cleveland. I'll take it. I'll enjoy it. But if I was a Browns fan, he'd be out. Okay, let's talk about this game. Where did I put my notes? I have my notes here. We playing against the Vikings. And the Vikings, as I was watching some of their games, the Vikings team is a team. Oh, by the way, I might take callers later. So if you want to call, where's my thing? There it is. Text. Text at that number. Don't call. Text. That's one of you guys texting as you should. So let me say, talk about the Vikings, and then I'll take callers, and then that way you can give me your takes. Okay, we're gonna be taking some calls tonight. Okay, Vikings team is a team that is better than the record says. They have a very bad record. They had a lot of luckish, no, like they have been careless with the ball. If you think about the Bengals game, they should have won that game. They were driving, they were already in field goal range, and it was exactly what the Ravens did to the Chiefs. They did to Minnesota, but instead of scoring a field goal, or did we score a field goal? I don't know. They scored a touchdown. They went deep and scored a touchdown with Chase, right? And they have other bad slash tough losses. They just came from losing a team that did not have the starting quarterback and Cooper Rush in the Dallas Cowboys. That's a game. If you're the Vikings, you're looking like, I need to win this game to stay on pace with the Packers, right? Anyway, look, we know who we know who Kirk Cousins is, right? He is a decent quarterback that can get hot. I still remember. I don't know if y'all remember. I still remember when this MFer comes from RG3, right? Haloti Nana takes RG3's legs. RG3 leaves the game injured. And this MFer comes and beats us. Still remember that. So he's a guy that can get hot, but he is a good quarterback, not a great quarterback. Their O-line has been playing decent. Not great, but better than years past. Okay, so and we're gonna dissect. I'm gonna give you my keys to this game for the Ravens victory. Let's talk about Dalvin Cook. This is the first thing. The Vikings team has not been a great running team this year. Right now, they are 12th on the rushing side, and they're 14 on the touchdown rushing. Right, so Dalvin Cook with only 2 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook has 444 rushing, 2 touchdowns, and 72 reception yards. And that was surprising. When I was watching his stat, I know he missed a game or two, but I was like rushing is not bad. 444 yards, that's not horrible. But the 73 reception, the yards and the receptions, and like he's super dynamic. That they're not using him more in the passing game is scary, and I'm afraid. Also, he has 2 fumbles. I'm afraid for Peanut. No, not for Peanut, for PQ. This is a game that what I want is first, before anything with the pass, making them one-dimensional. If Dalvin Cook is running all over you, you're probably going to lose this game on the defensive side. You cannot allow Dalvin Cook to rush all over you. You're going to clamp down, rush, and then Patrick Queen needs to clamp down and be good against the passing when he leaks out. He has not been great, but that doesn't mean he's not good. Dalvin Cook is phenomenal. He's dynamic. They need to make sure they shut the running down, and also they shut that flat throw to Dalvin Cook. Jefferson and Thielen, obviously 2 great receivers, 43 receptions each, 563 for Jefferson, 471 for Thielen. So they looks like they go more to Jefferson on the long passes, obviously, because Thielen goes more in the underneath, and which scares me because he's a physical receiver. We'll see Tavon play really good against Boyd. He needs to repeat it performance. Thielen in the looks to get more of the touchdown. He has 6 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns for Jefferson. Both of them has one fumble. I want to see Marlon and Jefferson. I want to see Marlon. I know a lot of you have been down on Marlon Humphrey. Marlon Humphrey is still great. I want to see him bump and run. Forget about moving him. Just Marlon travel with him. Doesn't matter what defense you're gonna take Jefferson. And Thielen, we'll see the rotation, but Thielen Young in the slot is fine. I want to see how he performs. He performed well, and if he cannot handle it, then you move. That's their two weapons. That's their two weapons right now. After that, And then if you think about it, in the passing side, Daniel Hunter, their best rusher, he's on IR with 6 sacks. Addison Griffin went and took a cup of tea with Dallas. He wasn't good, but he came back here and 5 sacks so far this year, playing really good. And our guy, Michael Pierce, the guy that did not sack the quarterback a lot, 2 sacks so far this year, but you know where he's bread is butter, plugging those holes on the running side. Look, they also have the great safety Xavier Woods. 5 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, 2 forced fumbles. Okay, so what it looks to me is this defense. They attack with the rushing. They have a really good front seven, or at least front four, especially when they had Daniel Hunter. We'll see how that affects them. And they produce pressure, and then the secondary can make plays. They're not a highly interception team, but they make plays. Ravens offense is 19th on the passing side and 26th on passing touchdown with 10. In their defense, look at this. Their defense on the passing side, they're 9th in yards and 3rd, allowing the least amount of touchdown passes with 9. They're good secondary, and that's what I'm thinking. I don't necessarily think that great secondary. Xavier Woods is good, but it's their pressure. They're generating pressure, and that is allowing that secondary to play a little bit more free. On the rushing side, the Ravens are 6th overall rushing and 5th on touchdowns with 10 touchdown rushes as well. And then the rushing defense, they're 15th, so they're mid-tier, and they're 8th on TD, right? So they're pretty high. That they have allowed just 6 touchdowns on the rushing side, right? So impressive numbers from that defense. And this is the first key. Let's talk about our offense. Our offense cannot be scared of running the ball. And more than that, Lamar cannot be scared of running the ball. And I would love for him to learn how to slide. Just slide, Lamar. But rushing the ball and that read option, on the take and go, he needs to take and go. Also on the passing downs, if they're leaving grass in front, you need to take it, okay? So first key, don't be afraid to run. Even if the running is not working as well as you want, keep running the ball because that pounding will force the holes. And it will bring the defense down because the threat of Lamar just breaking one is too high. So they're going to bring that defense down. And that's going to allow the over the top. Second, don't just be throwing the ball for throwing the ball, right? I've seen a couple of times that Lamar's like, I know Hollywood's going deep. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. And that's how interceptions happen, okay? So we cannot have that. O-line needs to protect. That's key number 1. O-line. O-line has to protect. If the O-line does not protect, then this game is over because Lamar's going to eventually get hurt. So O-line, if you don't protect, it's going to be bad. That means Terry Phillips. You know, we are having Terry Phillips this week at right tackle. Villanueva on the left. And then the center, the middle has been consistent. Sorry, you have Powers in the left guard. He's been playing okay, and then Seidler and Boseman. But the guy that you and I have is Martellus Murray, right? Latavius Murray. And with Murray not being their best runner, I would like to see Tyson Williams getting more of the ball, but that's not going to happen. I would like to see less of Le'Veon Bell getting the ball, and that probably won't happen. So good, steady rushing attack. And third, look, offensively on the other side, Watkins back, you have Bateman, you have Hollywood, you have Shea Duvernay, and Mark Andrews. So you have weapons there. Utilize Lamar. You don't need to force feed anybody. Raven, I don't know what he does to Sly. I think remember we went with this with Flacco when he rushed, like Sly Flacco didn't rush as much, but yeah. So that being said, guys, those are my keys on offense. Let's talk about the defense. Like I said earlier, make sure Dalvin Cook does not run all over you. If you make them one dimensional, you have a better chance. Justin Jefferson and Thielen, they're gonna get theirs, especially how the secondary is playing. Secondary is not playing great. They're gonna get there. So just clamp down, try us, but bend and don't break. If you bend and don't break, we should be fine. Third, pressure. Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, when he gets pressure, which happens to a lot of quarterback, he starts getting happy feet. He's like throwing bad balls. This Vikings defense is vulnerable to the pressure. The O-line is good, but not great. Be careful of blitzes. Blitzes against Cincinnati were not getting there, which was allowed Joey Burrow to have easier completions. We don't want to do that against Kirk. And to be honest, this game might just come down to trenches. Who dominates the trenches, who dominate this game. So pressure on defense and protect Lamar on offense, and you take the dub. My prediction is 27-20 Ravens. I think the Ravens win by a touchdown. I think they're going to be winning by a little bit more, and they're going to get it close at the end, but not with no cigar. Okay, now I'm going to have to take some callers here. If you want to be on the show, text 443-292-2337. It's 443-292-2337. Yo.
Yo, what's up, Sonny? How's it going? Long time no see.
I know, man. How you been?
Yeah, busy with work, but been following your channel, AFC North, and your videos as well. It's always great to get your insights. So really excited to chop it up with you.
Appreciate it. Hopefully you also like the AFC North talk. It's a fun
For
one.
sure.
So tell me, what are you calling today for?
No, I just wanted to kind of discuss a few things. I think I wanted to discuss the right tackle first thing is like,
Okay.
do you think because Tyree did so poorly at right tackle, I don't think he has the feet to be a tackle, and I don't want them to just keep putting him at guard and tackle. What do you think of this? Cedric Ovehi on the right side, Tyree Phillip as the left guard, and you chip with Nick Boyle.
Well, Boyd's not back yet. I don't think he's gonna be back this week either. But
Tomlinson can do the job till then.
Yeah, no, I
do you
got
think
you.
Is that?
I don't know. Look, this is the problem that I have with Terry Phillips. Last year, when he played both guard and tackle, I actually thought he was a better tackle than he was a guard. This year, as a guard, he actually did decent. And as a tackle, he came mid-game and did not perform well. But if he just coming from an injury and just, mid-game, it almost looked like he wasn't ready. So I'm willing to give him another chance. Terry Phillips is actually athletic enough to be a tackle. And like I said, I thought that he was more athletic than strength, which is in the inside. Sometimes you need a little bit more. To do the switch you're saying, it's not that it's bad, but the other guy, I haven't done scouting on him, but what I heard from him is not great. And think about this. If you find a tackle right now on the market where people are bleeding for O-line, that tackle ain't great. That tackle ain't not great. So I would say, I would bet that Tyree Phillips is twice as better than this guy. So, which is not great, but yeah.
Yeah. No, why, what gives me the pause? Because Ravens never saw him as a tackle. That's what gives me the pause. They must see something that they didn't believe him, because if they thought that he was swing tackle capable, why would they have put him as a left guard in the first place?
It baffled me. I'm not gonna lie. When they did that, I was like, "What are you doing?" But they drafted him as a guard. And again, last year I thought that he performed a little bit better as a tackle than as a guard. Just as I remember him playing, but they have a big problem here because they don't have any more tackles. I mean, they had the guy they just got, but they have basically none. and there's no trade. There's
Yeah.
nothing else you can do to just get more.
The other thought I had was I wanted to run this by you. When we did good against Colts during the second half, all we did was we were going not no huddle, but fast tempo.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm thinking. Like, let them not substitute throughout the game. Why don't we do more tempo or fast game? Like, especially having Bateman and Sammy Watkins and even Brown in the wide receivers. I think they might want to speed up the tempo and use more wide receiver screens or like fast, like quick passing game.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? To
Okay.
assist with the, I know the chips and all, like, but if you chip all the time, that's gonna take away part of your playbook. So what do you think should be our other solution if that chipping is not helping?
So I think the biggest problem with up tempo, which I like, but if you go three and out, right, and then you go up tempo the next, and then you first down, maybe another
Mm,
first down, and then three, and then you have to punt again. Your defense, if it is struggling, now you're putting them quickly again in the field,
right.
unless you're scoring fast, which is not gonna be good for your defense because that means the moment you cannot score, but your defense is going to be taxing. They're going to keep giving the touchdowns. So that is the problem sometimes to go in. Up tempo is hard to produce. If you think about it, the only team that they really did up tempo for most of the games, every game, were the Eagles on the Chip Kelly. And back then they say like they basically had to put the O lines to a regimen of conditioning so they can keep up because if not, they were getting tired. And their defense sometimes were
Mm,
just gas and they just blew the game over. They were getting burned because they just cannot hold it.
right, right. No, because what I think is that the other thing is we could use RPOs, and what about this option where we have what's the name, the fast the punt returner that we have, man, it's
Duvernay.
escaping me, him, Duvernay, as a running back, like an option. So if we have a running back and Duvernay in the backfield, I think that can simulate some of the option. Then you have the triple threat. You can have the guard and tackle pulling the counters off of that. I think we should, if we want to go back to the power game, I think we should be more like the deception, because we obviously don't have the people up front to make the one-on-one blocks. So why not create advantages like with what we were doing in the back, where we have a fast running back and a wide receiver in the backfield, and now we make them choose.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that wouldn't work. I think Duvernay is good on space, but when you make him a running back, the space gets shortened. And yes, if you guess right, or if they guess wrong, better yet, then Duvernay might take it with a lot of space. But if not, then those are plays that will not go anywhere. So you have to be careful
Right.
with the. That's why they use
No,
him more
but
in the jet sweep, hoping they cut the defense
yeah.
just off guard, and then he has space and he can use the speed to beat the guy at the edge.
No, because my thing is, if we're gonna go heavy personal, maybe even 13, we have Duvernay in the backfield. So now it gives you the optionality of having them go base, and then you put him in the backfield, put him in the motion. That's gonna create a lot. And then what about even having Nate McCreary as an option, because he has the speed to threaten the edges. What I find is right now, I don't know, Freeman has the speed that McCreary has. Why not test McCreary and Duvernay in the backfield and see what that does to the defenses?
Uh,
Because we're going to stretch sideline to sideline, and now the middle is going to open up for Lamar to run in. So he's going to be the middle option.
yeah. So again, those are plays that might work one or twice.
Mm.
But then if you do it a lot, what they're just gonna do, they're just gonna crash in the point and attack, and they're gonna say we're just gonna tackle everybody, right? And we're just gonna hit
But
everybody.
that but that's when we RPOs. That's when we hit them in the back. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if
Oh,
we
you mean
have
like a
this
puller and then maybe hit it with a slant or something like that?
exactly. So because then I always thought like they should give Lamar more options. It's always like let him decipher like what the defense is doing, and if you see them crashing down, let them crash down, and then you hit them on the back, or even you have the deep game going, because either they can't do everything. They can't go too deep. If they're gonna go too deep, we just hit them in the intermediate game. Mark Andrews got it. If they're gonna crash the edges, we throw them in the back. We got wide receivers that can make yards after contact.
Yeah.
I think
mean,
that's
this
like
could
I don't
work.
see how you can defend all three phases.
Yeah, it could work. You have to get creative. You have to also be aware that your O line has struggled,
That's
and
the thing. Yeah.
and when you're doing a read option, there's some time of that to develop, including letting some people on block, right? In the read option, you're leaving a lot of people on block. Your O line's doing a lot of movement, so you have to be aware of
No,
that.
got you. No, because why I feel like Tyree has the good, like he has the movement skills to make that reach block. I don't know if even if McCary comes back, I think that's a game, because I remember last year when we went with the counters and have the center and tackle pulls. That's when our running game started going exponential. Remember last time we were having similar issues with our running game, and then all of a sudden we started with the counters,
Yeah.
and that's when it opened up the running game. So what do you think of that as an option? Because I don't think like if you just go with the traditional, running options, I don't know if we have the running backs to pull that off.
Yeah, that is the problem. Our running backs, even the counter. Like I have no faith in Le'Veon Bell. I know most Ravens Nation love him. I prefer
Yeah, I
Tyson
think
Williams.
that's why they should experiment with Nate McCreary. I think for whatever reason they don't trust
You don't.
um
You don't.
yeah, Terry. Yeah, because I think if they don't trust them, like it's because if you simplify the run pass option, it's just the mesh point. I think they don't trust them with the mesh point. That's the biggest problem I think they have with our younger running backs.
I don't disagree. And but man, again, I would prefer if they go in and say, you know what, we are using Tyson Williams and McCary. Uh, but
I
right
mean,
now
I
they
think
prefer the veterans, which again, to be fair, I think Freeman has one good run per game. I have
right,
seen
he might be
nothing
an
from
option.
Bell.
Yeah,
Yeah, from Bell I
he
see
might be an
nothing.
option.
And Murray's not playing. He hasn't practiced in a couple of weeks now. He's not gonna play, and he's the best
Yeah,
runner.
no, because I was thinking more of getting heavy personals in, forcing them to go to base, and then spreading it out. Because I think when you spread them out with a base on the field, that gives you a much better option. And then Lamar becomes the check down.
Yeah, no, no, definitely. I mean that is a possibility. It could work. The O line has to hold for a moment, and I think they're scared of putting a lot into this O line.
No, but you can have you don't have to put all of them. They can chip and then release. Like the Titans can
Yeah,
stay on,
they can chip.
chip and then release.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think that's a good idea, and they should definitely execute it. I think read option. I've been saying for a while, you have to have a read option that is really a read option. The Raven just had a running option, meaning we give to
That's what I'm
Lamar,
thinking.
or you give it,
Yeah,
or you
I
keep
think
it.
that yeah, because every time what Lamar is so dangerous because he reads that the defender's leverage so good. Like I haven't seen any other players being able to read that leverage so good. I think we should utilize that skill because he is deadly when he's given the option to run or pass,
Yeah, no,
because that
definitely.
puts defenders at the prime. Because you do that with Everson Griffin, he doesn't have the movement skills to be able to keep up with even whoever the running back or the Lamar. Because
All right.
without them having Daniel Hunter, all you do is you put Daniel Everson Griffin as the read option, like as the read first read. Whatever he does, read off of that.
I agree. No, they again. This is a game that if they're smart, they should win. And in what you're saying, I've been saying this for a minute that they should go in, go really read option, meaning you either give to Lamar, you take it, or give Lamar get take Lamar gives it or takes it, right? But even with that, as he's trying to give it to the running back, but this is a lot to process, right? You need to look at the if the
Mm,
receiver's starting to get open, you pull and you pass, right? So it has to be the read
that's
option like that.
yeah.
And then I think the other thing is if the receivers are defended, which it has happened, there's green in front of him. He needs to say, okay, I'm not gonna pass. Let me just get it. And he takes a while to get there. And there's first down being left on the field because he wants to still make the pass, which I appreciate it. But if you just decide like, let me just go and run, you would have gotten the first down.
Yeah, I know. And my other concern was with running game. I don't agree. I don't know what to make out of Brandon Williams because I do think that he doesn't get the help because I think he's doing his job, but I think the problem is that we don't have Derek Wolf, who's such a good at two gapping because I think Justin Metabuke or Roderick Washington, they don't have the two gapping skills
Yeah.
that Derek Wolf has. So having Derek Wolf back, I think that should help the middle of the defense, and that automatically, especially with our new middle linebacker, I think that should solidify the run defense. What do you think of that?
I
Because I
think
disagree with everybody saying Brandon Williams is not playing. I think you are asking a lot from him. That's what I
I
think.
think you're asking a lot for the whole defensive line. They're just getting tired at the end of the game. Right now, your rotation is not that deep, and then
But
you have Marabuke. Think about when Wolf comes, Marabuke can go into the second rotation, which that itself is great because he is a starter, and then you have four legit starters. Um,
but
so just for depth purposes, right now I think this main problem is they're just getting tired.
that's what I think is because I know everybody wants to rag on Brandon Williams, but I think he is like the lone man, try to hold everything down. And unless we have the middle of the defense, I think the problem was we were getting run in the middle. And once you expose the middle like that, gives you no option. So if we can get the middle, because my thing is that the whole middle, like middle linebacker and the free safety, because what do you think of our new guy? What's his name? I forget.
You talk about Vines?
The free safety. No,
Uh,
the free safety that we got. The uh, the cornerback free safety
it's
uh,
Stevens.
who we are grooming. The rookie.
Yeah,
I
Stevens.
keep forgetting. Yeah,
Stevens.
Stevens. What do you think of giving him more plays? Because I feel like he might be a good option because if you have, and then that will allow Chuck Clark to be come up in the box, and then Deshaun Elliott can be the strong safety because that's what because he can control the middle with if you go nickel.
Gotcha. Well, these three guys are not to be in the field at the same time because they have flaws on the passing game. So I will say this: I think Stevens has been playing way better than what people give him credit for. People think that he's playing
Right,
like trash, and he hasn't. He has been playing really good. The problem with Steven, he's a rookie, so he will make mistakes. Uh,
right.
I like what I see from Stevens. I think what you see from Stevens is gonna allow you the next year for all of y'all. I don't think Joker's coming back. I think Stevens is your starting safety.
Right. I think that's why I think we need to give him some snaps to get to see how he progressed because I know we can rotate Jimmy. That's the other option I like is like keep Jimmy in the backfield because he understands all the passing concepts. So if you have Jimmy in the back controlling because our strong safeties don't take away like they can't cover as much. They are good and then they're not ball hawks. That's the biggest problem I have. And I'm even thinking why not utilize Geno Smith or like Darius Washington? We have them. If we don't trust them, what do you think? Maybe they don't trust them just
Well,
yet.
they don't trust him definitely. I think Gino they see him as a special teamer. And on Washington, they see him as a potential free safety for the future, but not this year. So I like Washington a lot, but not this year. Looks like they're essentially going to shelve him for next year.
Got you. Because I think that we need to at least keep the rotation, because what I think is that we are asking a lot of Brandon Williams and Marlon Humphrey, because they are getting tired, because they are getting all the bugs. And I know you said that you want him to travel. I'm of the opinion that he should stay on the right side and even be in rotation with Jimmy, because I think his confidence is maybe not at the level that, I mean, he might come out firing. No, don't get me wrong, but I just like the rotation idea, because I think we should. Um, Ravens defense does good when we are in rotations, and especially when we don't have the running game that can go on long drives. I think we should focus more on rotations more, so we can keep all the defenders fresh.
Yeah, for the secondary, you usually don't rotate your strong corners. That's not something that you do. You just basically
But
take the corners and
yeah, at
say,
2019, didn't they? 2019, didn't they rotate Marlon? I think they did with Jimmy.
no, 2019 in his rookie year they did, but Marlon
Yeah, that's
Humphrey,
right. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
after that Marlon Humphrey has been rotated to move to the slot, move to the outside, but not taking him out
but
unless he
not
really
now.
needs a
Yeah,
breather.
exactly. Yeah.
That's
No,
not.
because I think that with him having especially issues with technique, that kind of was a red flag to me. I'm like, are we kind of asking a lot from him? That's what I'm thinking.
Yep. I mean, I think they have been playing well. I think Marlon had a tough game. I also think the defense put him in a situation that is not his strong suit. So we'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see
Yeah.
what they
I
do.
think Yeah, I think we should not do so much single high. I think I don't know if we have, because I know the zero blitz is what Wink is most comfortable with, but I don't think we have the personnel to pull that off. I think we should almost like do simulated pressure and drop off. I think we should be doing more simulated pressures rather than zero blitzes, because that's putting corners on too much of a like an island. What do you think?
I think there's a place to blitz, and this year they have blitz less. So
Right.
we'll see what they do for this game. In the case of the Bengals, they got desperate that they were not reaching Burrow, so
Mm,
they start, in my opinion, blitzing for no reason. And well, you know what
right.
happened.
I almost feel like they do better when they're dropping more in coverage, because I think for whatever reason, I think Odafe Owe and Justin Houston are getting the pressure. If they're not getting the pressure, at least they are like holding their own. And then, because I mean, that's what I think. Like if we drop more in coverage, I think and then we do that with deception. I think we are getting better results with that.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Anything else?
No, I think that's it. I'm just glad to see it. And do you still see us? Well, do you change your prediction of 12-5, or do you still see us winning the division with 12-5, or what do you think? Like, has anything changed for you?
No, I think we still win the division. Obviously, we cannot lose another game like the ones we did with the Bengals, especially to the Bengals. But I think if we take care, um, we take the division.
That sounds good. But it's always exciting. I love to top it up with you, and I'm glad to, glad you're taking the calls. Look forward to having back on the show, and really glad you're back. Thank you.
Thank you, bro. See you soon. Okay, we have two more callers here.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Yo, what's up?
I heard it. Oh crap.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that was me dropping my earbuds.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. How you doing? It's been a long time.
I know, I haven't seen you in a minute. Working hard.
Yeah, man. I started a master's program, so it's been insane.
Yeah, that's never easy. But hey, Ravens are doing okay. I know last time we saw them play, they lost and they got beat, and people still like kind of hurt, but we'll be okay. Tell me, man, what are you calling today for? I'm excited you call, by the way, because I haven't heard from you for a minute.
Yeah, man. I mean, for the most part, I really just called to go and see how you've been doing because it's been a really long time. I mean, as far as how I feel about the state of the Ravens, I'm not sweating too badly. Um, it was a weird thing that happened last Sunday in the sense that I actually saw us. I saw that there was a chance. I thought that there was going to be a chance for us to lose. I didn't think we were going to lose that badly, but I really saw last week as being a trap game. Um, and I mean, the way that I feel about the loss, I mean, I know a lot of Ravens fans were hurt. I mean, I was kind of annoyed by it, but I wasn't full of vitriol, if that makes sense. I almost feel like there's never really a good time to lose, but if there was a time to lose, I think last week was actually not that time.
Okay.
Part of the reason why I say that is because we had the bye week, so you had the time to really take a look at, okay, what is going on? You know, what do we need to fix moving forward for the rest of the season? Because I mean, we looked at the other games. Even though the Ravens won, they were not clean wins. There was a lot of things that were sloppy,
Yep.
things that a win easily masks. So I think having the loss literally right before the bye was kind of a blessing in disguise.
Okay.
So that way, the kind of it gives me a little bit of 2019 vibes in the sense that we lost really badly to the Browns, and from there we pretty much didn't lose until going into the playoffs. I hope we don't lose in the playoffs this year. But I mean, it's really this whole AFC is really a toss up. So it could really go any like at least 7 different ways. As far as who gets number 1, who gets 2, and whatever. And then even in the lower, like the mid tier rounds, like you don't even know who's going to be on the wild card because it could easily be like the Patriots now, it could be somebody else, down the line. So I mean, it's going to be a very interesting season. I think it's probably one of the most interesting seasons I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, definitely. There's no team that you're like, oh my god, they're the absolute favorite, especially in the AFC, because the NFC right now, Rams are gearing up to make a big push, but in the AFC, there's no one team. I mean, the Buffalo Bills have been playing against a lot of soft teams, So obviously they have been beating them, and you expect that from a good team, unless they're a bad team, but they're not dominating good teams. Good teams, they lost to the Steelers and they lost to the Titans. And even Miami, when they play them tough. Although that's a division game, so those are a little bit different. But still. So yeah, I mean, I like their chances, but they need to fix a couple things. So no doubt.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, I really feel like going to this recent trade window, I was kind of curious about who we might sign, but I was not expecting much at all. Part of that is the cap really have no flexibility there. We all know that EDC does not like to get rid of high draft picks, and it would have taken a way higher draft pick than normal the previous 2 years, considering it would have to be anyone who we get, we had to offset most likely their salary from the team. So whoever we're trading with, that team would start to pay that salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
So likely, if you wanted to get someone who is impactful, like Marcus Peters or what Yannick Ngakoue should have been,
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have taken not a 5th rounder, but probably more like a 3rd or maybe even a 2nd rounder to get somebody like that this year. So I didn't think it was going to happen, and ended up not. I don't think it really matters though, because I feel like the biggest issue that I would say the team I've seen is probably coaching. It's like the fundamentals are bad, the form execution. I mean, it's like things that if you put into practice and like really drive the point, they'll be able to fix it. I don't think it's like a one person
So you think Rob
gets
Ryan?
plugged in and
Rob
they fix
Ryan.
it. Huh?
Rob Ryan is the culprit.
You think Rob Ryan's a culprit? I think that makes sense.
I mean, he was brought up to make the linebackers better, and the linebackers look worst.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I wanted to like Rob Ryan considering Rex Ryan, but I mean, it hasn't really been working out the way that I was hoping. So I mean, I don't. Do you like get rid of the coach and then see if you get another coach in the middle of the year? I don't know. That's something that we kind of did in 2012, but
yeah,
not
I
as
mean,
severe.
that was a risky move, and they paid off. But no, you don't fire Rob at this point. Just he's just a linebackers coach. If anything, if it's really that bad, you go and help him coach the linebackers.
Yeah, I wonder who they would. They probably have somebody in house that they could switch out with, but I mean, I don't know.
Maybe because they brought him when we lost the guy to Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see how they address that. I mean, I'm kind of not all in per se in terms of like thinking we're gonna go win all the rest of our games, but I'm not pessimistic in that I don't think it's gonna be a complete bust of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens are showing a lot, and considering we had so many people in IR, that's like 16, 17 people, and then we're 5-2. And I mean, 2 losses. One of them was an overtime loss to a team that's really came under the radar, but is really one of the top tier teams in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one's a division rival, who we definitely slept on because historically they suck. So I mean, I don't feel too pessimistic on it, but I don't know. I'm not pessimistic or like
optimistic,
but I'm not thinking Super Bowl either. If that makes sense.
I think if the O-line plays better, they can definitely go far, especially with this year in the AFC.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it kind of makes me a little more optimistic in next year as well, because I mean, a lot of those players that we lost are key pieces of the offense and defense. I mean, we're talking about Marcus Peters, Dobbins, and then
Gus,
and then hell, even go to
Stanley,
LJ Ford, and then you got like a bunch of other people you can think of that honestly there may not be household names in the media, but we know how much they can contribute. So
yep,
it makes me optimistic.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Definitely we're missing a couple of those guys. Anything else on Smarties?
I'll go ahead and let the next person go ahead and jump on. I want to make sure everyone has some time to go and talk.
Appreciate it, bro. Don't be a stranger. Glad you're doing well, man.
Yeah, man. I try to swing by a little more of these in the future than I have been. It's been kind of crazy though.
I bet the master's not easy. Huh?
Yeah, it's in the field that I'm not even a part. Like it's in the field that I didn't take in my undergrad either. I had a business undergrad, and I'm taking it's an IT master, so there's a lot of things I'm trying to catch up on.
Yeah, I bet. Well, good luck, bro. Take it easy.
All right, thank you. Yep, have a good one.
You too, bye-bye. Okay, we're gonna go with the last caller. Last caller. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
There you go.
What's up, Sony?
I'm good. How about you, man?
I'm doing good. It's been a minute.
I know, man. It's been a minute. How you been?
I'm doing pretty good. First year of college and midterms are kicking my, you know what? But other than that, I've been pretty good, dude. This NFL season, I've loved it so far.
Has not been good?
What?
You said that the NFL season has not been good?
No, I've been loving it. So
Oh,
far.
you've been loving it. Okay.
So much, so many upsets in the storylines.
Mhm.
Like the Chiefs, who would have imagined they would be under
I
500
love it.
last week, right?
By the way, I don't know if y'all know, but Alejandro Villanueva is outperforming Orlando Brown Jr. right now in both passing and blocking. I'm sorry, and blocking,
outperforming him?
outperforming him.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, the Chiefs' O-line has been a disaster. My God, I mean, they spent so much in the offseason and for what?
I don't disagree. Yep. Anyway,
Yeah,
go ahead, man. Sorry for
how's Jeff
interrupting.
Finney doing now? How's Jeff Finney doing? The guard they got out of New England, they made him nice paid. Not sure because
Gooney?
we got Kevin Zeitler for what, $8 million, while they paid him
Yeah.
double.
Gooney, the game that I watched, Gooney did okay, but let me see what I find here. But yeah,
But it's
Gooney
being the
did
highest
okay.
paid.
Yeah, I don't know about highest paid. Although most of the pressure that they give Mahomes looks to be from the tackle side, not from the middle.
No, oh, okay. Well, I want to get to the point quickly since you're probably running short on time. So I wanted to talk about the future outlook for the Ravens and specific roster spots, such as one, everyone's favorite position, wide receiver. And I have been extremely happy with the progress that we've had at wide receiver. Seems like all the investment that EBC has put into the wide receiver position has actually paid off. And I'd like to say, other than Jamar Chase, I think it's fair to say Marquise Brown has been the best wide receiver behind Jamar Chase in the AFC North. And who would have saw that coming?
I know. We're playing great. By the way,
We were
if
just
you
wondering
think
behind
about
the prediction.
if you think about the O-line from the Chiefs, their highest offensive liner right now, Creed Humphrey.
Yeah. The rookie.
Yeah,
Damn it, I
the
loved him out of college too.
Yeah,
You know what's kind of crazy?
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure there were like 3 different centers that were taken, and I think they might have used our pick or the second round pick that they got from. They had 2 second round picks. One of them was ours, and they used one of those to grab, and it was a bit disheartening. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Wait, does he play center? Because I know that they. Does he play center or guard? Because I know that they had a.
No, he plays center.
Oh, he's playing center. Okay. Well, yeah, I wanted to get your opinion on like the future outlook for the wide receiver position. As in Marquise Brown, his contract's coming up soon. Do we keep the trio together, Lamar, Marquise, and Andrew, or do you think we let go of him? Do you think Sammy Watkins stays for another season, or do we like let people like Duvernay and Crochet take his place? And even Boykin seems like everyone's forgotten about him at this point.
Well, Boykins is gonna be in the sunset very soon. In the case of Sammy Watkins, I think they also let go next year. So those
think
two.
he gets a decent sized contract in someone. I mean, he came up and before he got injured.
Yeah, I mean, he would definitely get a job. And then Hollywood Brown, I think they're gonna try to extend him, if not this year, next year.
I
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Marquise Brown is. I don't think it's really that big of an art. I think he's easily a top 10 deep threat, probably top 5 deep threat in the NFL right now.
And he has good chemistry with Lamar, so I think they're gonna try to keep them both. And Bateman, Bateman is cheap. He's in the first year, so he has years here left.
How much would you give Marquise? I would say around anywhere from 15 to 18 would be a good price.
Oh man, I think around 15, no more.
Yeah. I would say 15 to 18 because he's probably going to get paid in 2 years from now, and by then the market will probably have shot up. So I'm guessing it will be somewhere around 18, maybe.
Maybe I'm hoping 15. That's what I'm hoping.
I mean, Odell's making 15 right now.
Yeah, but
Odell
Odell was a legit when he got that contract. He was legit top 5 in the whole league.
That was how many years ago now? Like when Marquise was drafted, so he got
Yeah,
that
but
contract.
to be fair, contract had gone down a little bit. 18 was Allen
Good point.
Robinson for the 1 year deal.
Ooh,
I
yeah,
mean,
you're right.
he was franchise tag, but still, right? I mean, I
Mhm.
think if Marquise just comes and keeps killing it, then yes. But if he goes back to more of a mean, then yeah,
Mhm.
15, total 15.
All right. Secondarily, I also wanted to talk about this whole offensive line situation and how,
Okay.
even though we've invested so much, feels like nothing's sticking.
Yeah.
Except for Bradley Bozeman at center. The left guard position, it's crazy how many injuries we've had just to that one position. We've had like 4 starters in there,
Yeah.
and all of them got injured. It's just the left tackle, Ronnie Stanley. It's that. One thing that I noticed is everyone always just assumes that after someone gets surgery, they'll be back 100%. I think Ronnie Stanley's case is an example of when surgery doesn't go well and you're not back to 100%. You're maybe 80% of what you were, and you have to go through rehab again. I don't know if we're ever going to see Ronnie Stanley again. The guy that figured out his
I'm
the
hoping.
best PFF tackle of all time.
Yeah,
in that
I'm
one
hoping.
season. Yeah, I think he'll still live up to the contract. I think he'll be top 10 left tackle, but after 2 surgeries to the same ankle, with how much weight, offensive tackles are well above 330, and with how much weight he has on him, I don't know if he'll ever be the same, sadly.
Yeah.
But he is young. He has that in him.
Hoping you're wrong, but keep going.
All right, and at the right guard position, what do we do there? I mean, do you think we draft somebody or?
I mean, they have Seidler there. I'm assuming they think that he's good for at least 1 more year.
Not right guard. I meant to say right tackle. My apologies.
Oh, right tackle. Yeah, I think they need to draft somebody.
We got that guy from Denver. He got injured and released, and he apparently
James.
he was a quality starter. Yes, I completely forgot his name. Do you think that he might be able to step in? I mean, if he's a quality starter.
He gets injured a
Right?
lot. He gets injured a lot. That's the problem with him.
Sadly, yeah, I don't know if he should have. Do you think Tyree Phillips might be able to step in, or you've given up on that?
The what?
Tyree Phillips.
Ah, man. I think Tyre Phillips, he's gonna be the right tackle. We need to embrace him.
All right. And is Ben Cleveland expected to come back anytime this season?
Yeah. My understanding he's coming back later this year.
All right. And well, I think I'd like to talk about 2 more position groups quickly.
Okay.
Lastly, I mean almost lastly, is the defensive tackle position. And I really expected big things out of Justin Madubuike, especially after like those spurts in 2020 where he just looked elite, simply put. Like, for example, in the Browns game, the Browns have had 2 elite guards, and he was whooping both of them. That Cleveland game, the primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
It was after I saw that, I'm like, dude, this season, I think Madubuike has a chance of becoming, I don't know, like a top 15 to 10 tackle just this season. But I've been a bit underwhelmed. He's been plenty good enough, but like I didn't dive too deep into this, or is it like he's not getting enough playing time? I know he's been a starter since Derek Wolfe has been out, but is there anything you can point to
for me,
that I had my expectations for, or what?
Madubuike, I mean, it's hard for you to see numbers for him because interior D-line are not about to get a bunch of sacks or a bunch of like, you know, what you want is him to not allow anybody to get to the next level. And I think he's been good. Sometimes he overrushes, in my opinion, so he tries to get the quarterback, even though it was a rushing play. So sometimes he definitely overrushes and abandons his zone or his containment portion. And PQ is saying shit and drives me crazy. But I think Madubuike will be fine.
All right. What I was talking about was like last year. You would have plays where he would like pop off my screen. Like, for example, there was one in the Giants game, 2 in the Browns game, a few run defense plays where he just burst through. He did it once or twice this year. I remember one in KC, but I expected to see significantly more plays where he just like pops off my screen. Like Calais Campbell does that quite been doing that quite a bit this season.
Yeah, and he has a good
Even though-
mentor. I think he'll be fine. He's in his second year. I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, at worst, I think he's going to be a quality starter in the NFL.
Yep.
Worst. And the linebacker position, about the whole Rob Ryan thing, you think it might be because our dynamic duo that we were supposed to have at linebacker, supposed to be Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Rob Ryan is more so that old school type of guy where defend the run, make sure you're disciplined in your gap, and all this rah stuff. And that's the place that I expected Malik Harrison to have. Meanwhile, Patrick Queen's supposed to be that sideline to sideline coverage guy. And do you think the reason why Patrick Queen might not be progressing much is because Rob Ryan might not be the right linebacker coach for him?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll definitely see with Rob Ryan. I'm hoping if he's not doing a good job, that Harbaugh has a sense to fire him.
Okay. Yeah, I think it might just be like a culture misfit between Rob Ryan and Patrick Queen. I expect Patrick Queen to be like a modern type of linebacker where I don't know this. It's just a hunch.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm just looking for excuses for Patrick Queen. I'm not sure. But yeah. And lastly, the secondary. I have some pretty high expectations for Chris Westry just because of his physical potential, but at the same time, I'm really not sure what to make of him. What do you see in Texas Chris Westry?
I think if you talk about Westry, I think Westry will be fine. I think we definitely get him some snaps. I don't know if he's ready to prime time to be there every day, every down, but definitely sprinkle in some snaps here and there. He's aggressive that I like. On the other side, based on the story you were saying, look, I think. Well, no. I think the secondary is going to be fine. I think if you bring Westry's also going to be fine. You need to ease him up. What I'm excited for Westry is on the red zone, right?
Yeah.
I like Tavon Young, but when you go to the red zone and they go with taller receivers or they put like a different package, that's when you want a big physical receiver, right? Unless they're putting a smaller receiver, then you can leave Tavon Young. That's my main thing. So, I mean, getting healthy is always going to help. It's always going to help.
Do you see starter potential with Westry?
Do we see what?
Do you see starter potential?
It's too early to say because I know everybody got hype, everybody got crazy about him, but that was made mostly because of preseason. We'll see let's see when he gets like a real game action.
Yeah. By the way, Bateman, he's living up to the hype so far.
Oh, I like Bateman. I already ordered my jersey.
You already ordered a jersey?
Mm-hmm.
You beat me to it. I'm actually thinking about getting Marquise and Bateman jersey.
I got him in Owe.
Dude, our wide receiving core, we were like, if we could just get around the 20th wide receiving core, we should be good. Since we should have the number one run offense. Honestly, I'm really disappointed in our run offense. Our offensive line, your rush attack is mostly, for normal teams, it's mostly dedicated. Sorry, my little sister is in my room. It's mostly sorry about that.
Yeah, okay.
Rushing passes are mostly God, I completely lost my train of thought. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Well, that'll be it for me today. I was going to talk about how we should probably switch more to pass off the offense because our offensive line really isn't generating. It's not more. We don't have good running backs, but still, even with good running backs, most of them are dependent on good run blocking to produce a good rushing offense. And I just don't see it too often with the Ravens. Like, how many times have we had rushing yards for more than 10 yards if it isn't Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, our running backs are not good right now. Yeah, our
right
line's
now
not good, but our running backs, you're missing J.K. Dobbins and you're missing Gus. These guys are not even close to those two guys.
And you're missing your starters on the offensive line too. I mean, a lot of these guys don't have the continuity. I mean, you're pulling guys. How many of these guys are accustomed to Greg Roman's scheme where you're pulling guards here, pulling guards there,
Yep.
pulling tackles and everything. And it's like right now, I think our strength is at our wide receivers and our tight end, who is playing like the best tight end, and our wide receivers, which have been at worse than average wide receiver core
Yep.
in the NFL. I think we should switch to being maybe even more pass happy to set up the run game. But that's just my opinion.
For me, whatever the defense dictate, you take advantage of the other side.
Yeah. The Ravens are going to have to be flexible like that. Their running game isn't good enough to the point where like they know your running game's coming and they can't do anything about it. It's more so whatever they give you, you have to take full advantage of, in my opinion.
I agree. Anything
yeah,
else?
That's it for me. I
That's
appreciate
it?
you having me on, dude. And
I
keep up the
appreciate
great
you
work at
calling.
AFC Network. Thank you. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Peace.
Okay, my guys. Thank you, everybody that was here. Thank you, everybody that was watching. I appreciate it. Like I said, Ravens 27, Vikings 20. I think it's gonna be a good game. Strong game. Vikings have a good team. Don't underestimate it. Don't let them hang. You come in and you just knock them dead and then move on. Move on to the next week. Again, thank you everybody that was in the chat, the callers. I appreciate Zana, Asmodeus, and Mohammed. Appreciate all three of them. Appreciate everybody. Thank you for coming. We'll see you next time. Peace out.